What I love most about the Zen Cleanse enzymes is how effective they are and how they support the body's natural functions of detox and regeneration. They're 3-year fermented enzymes and designed with with the function of breaking through biofilms and safely releasing toxins from places like the small intestine, the liver, places that filter and hold a lot of toxicity for us, right? These are the superheroes of the body, keeping us safe. So let's back up for a minute and talk about cleansing in terms of the whole body and of holistic health. So really what I love helping people do is to stop chasing symptoms around and to really build a system, build a body that is strong and can meet whatever is coming at it. So rather than chasing symptoms, we get to the root of what is going on. Upstream, there's really 4 simple things that are upstream of all the diagnoses and all of the symptoms that you're dealing with. And that is the gut-liver axis, which is what we're going to talk about, neuroendocrine system, circadian rhythm, and psycho-emotional patterns. So even if you're the healthiest eater in the world, you're still going to run into a certain toxic load. And just by nature of the environment and the time and history that we live in, not only do we have the things you think about, like your candida, your bacterial load, your viral load, and not just the virus, if it's an active virus, but the viral debris that viruses leave behind, even when we've put them back to bed, your parasite, but we're also, exposed to chemicals, xenobiotics, pesticides, and things like that every single day. Just environmental toxins, we're exposed to electromagnetic toxins, we're exposed to information overload every single day, and that has an effect on the body. So it's really common for a toxin to get the body does its job and traps the toxin in a biofilm and mucus essentially. And if we're in the small intestine, it just kind of builds on the wall of the small intestine if it's not safe to release, right? Because the body will assess if it's safe to release. And same thing with the liver. The liver is the great filter of the body, but what a lot of people don't realize is it's also the great holder of the body. If you've ever seen those pictures of the fatty liver, it holds all of the fat, toxins, it holds it for us unless it's safe for it to release out the body. Now, this cleanse is designed to safely release those toxins. That's one of the reasons I'm so drawn to it, is that it safely releases. It keeps the blood sugar stable, and it simulates autophagy, which is usually only possible with fasting, without the risks of fasting, basically, while keeping the blood sugar stable. So the Zen Cleanse kits are the best products on the market because they're able to do it this way safely, and because of the regenerative properties that they add as well. It's highly, highly nutritive. I think the enzymatic property is something like 22 times fresh green vegetable juice. So that's one of the reasons I love it. And then with the support of the Holistic Detox, is the best on the market because of the way it addresses the psycho-emotional patterns, like the emotional detox that inevitably comes with a physical detox, right? You are not just releasing toxins. You might be releasing stored anger or resentments or grief. Like a lot of us have had a lot to grieve over the past few years. So it supports that process and just the mental load and the changing of neural pathways, the changing of behaviors, the changing of patterns that just inevitably come when we do this type of work. You might have a list of symptoms this long, you might not. We don't realize how good we're meant to feel until we start feeling that way. A lot of times people think they're not constipated. Number one, because they don't really know what that means. You should be having a proper BM 1 to 3 a day. Some people are just going a few times a week and think that's fine. It's not fine. But also, if you are going those 1 to 3 times a day, you also don't know your transit time and you don't know your absorbability factor. So a lot of times, 90% of the nutrient absorption happens in the villi and the small intestines. And if those villi are blocked, it's really hard for your body to absorb things. You can be eating all the right things, but having it go right through you. The liver cleanse works really well as well because they're actually softening, we still call them stones, but they're softening the toxins in the stones that form in the liver and gallbladder to flush them out as well. And just a lot of that, the fat that gets stored there. The order of the detox pathways typically is digestive, biliary, i.e. liver, lungs, lymph and blood, and then kidneys. However, if you're heavily constipated or heavily inflamed, we can do a reverse rainbow, which simply means to do the liver first. But typically I recommend starting in that order and typically we have to stay with the gut and liver and do a few, several flushes for the gut and liver, typically more for the liver, in order to really kind of clear them and then get to a maintenance schedule. So typically everyone over the age of 35 needs some level of flushing the gut and the liver. And even if you're under 35, if you've had any symptoms or, sort of health challenges, you probably need to, or to just get in the good habit of maintenance. And I do recommend that everyone is proactive about the 4 upstream systems and has a plan for keeping them strong and healthy. I made this video because I heard you were thinking about cleansing. And oh, by the way, who am I? I'm Amanda Heisman, holistic health expert, detox and regenerative specialist, and energy medicine practitioner. I'm also a chronic illness survivor and thriver, thanks to a lot of the things, modalities and enzymes, peptides, and other modalities that I've mentioned. You can reach me at amanda@heismanhealth.com or heismanhealth.com and let me know any questions you might have.